Am I too heavy for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? Should I lose weight and improve my conditioning and then start Brazilian Jiu Jitsu? That is the Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu question of the week this week. And I am al-Aziz, the owner and head instructor of Semper Fortis Jiu Jitsu, here to tackle that question. So I get this question a lot, and the answer is no, you're not too heavy to start Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and no, you should not be trying to improve your physical conditioning before you start Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So I've had a couple students over the years that have been in excess of 400 pounds, and they started Brazilian Jiu Jitsu with me. They trained Brazilian Jiu Jitsu with me, and I work with them. And just like I work with students that are heavy the same way that I work with students that are really small, or the same way I work with students who maybe have some physical limitations, and just work around those limitations. Because if you wait until you get in shape for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, you might never start Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, because part of your challenge is that you're having a problem reaching that physical fitness goal, and Brazilian Jiu Jitsu can help get you there. It's not a magic pill. You can't, there's people that do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and are very good at Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and are, still maybe heavier than they would like to be. Like, I have a purple belt in here who's, he's probably 370 pounds. So it's not a magic pill. And that's something a lot of gym owners won't tell you, whether it's Gold's Gym or a martial arts gym or a CrossFit gym. Is like cardio activity alone or weightlifting activity alone is not going to cause you to have the significant weight loss that you may desire, because cardio activity is just one part of it. The other part is going to be your diet. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about some things that I do in my diet, because my father and two of my brothers are well over 300 pounds. And, for me, I think today I'm 180 pounds. So I go between 170 and 180. But, it's not just cardio work in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. There's other things. And I'll talk about that in some future videos, and maybe talk and interview some of my students here who have had significant weight loss. Like one of my black belts, Jonathan, and he went from 211, 212, and he's 150, maybe in the 140s. One of the most dramatic weight losses I've ever seen. And he was in good shape at 211, and it's just phenomenal what he's done. And so we'll talk to him. Another one of my purple belts, Matt, I want to say when he started with me, he was probably close to 300 pounds, maybe more. And I think right now he's around 210. But Brazilian Jiu Jitsu wasn't the magic pill. Doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu alone will not cause you to lose all that weight. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is one step in the right direction of a healthy lifestyle. So don't worry about your current weight. Don't worry about, limitations. You get here, we're going to help get you in shape for Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. No one starts on their first day of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and comes in and just wows us all. And it's like, my gosh, he or she did all the warm-ups. They did all the techniques great. They sparred. They just dominated. Just incredible. Nobody does that on the first day. It's something you're going to work up to. So I've had people in our plaza here. We used to have a CrossFit gym. I've had CrossFit students and 2, maybe 3 different CrossFit instructors train jiu-jitsu in here with us. And when it was time to spar, although they're in great physical shape, they were cardio challenged also. So nothing really prepares you for the jiu-jitsu cardio challenge like jiu-jitsu. And years ago, I remember, I think we was with Shanji Habero, and somebody had asked him, it's like, hey, what things can I do to improve my cardio for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? And Shanji was like, do more jiu-jitsu. And the person was like, well, what about like swimming, treadmill, CrossFit, jogging? And he's like, yeah, that's all good too. But if you want to improve your cardio for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, do more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And that was really a profound, statement that Shanji made, and it's still true today. If you want to get your cardio improved for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you just got to do more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's the secret sauce. All these other cardio workouts are going to be great too, but you have to do more Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So just realize, like I said, on your first day, you're going to feel awkward. Maybe on your first week, you're going to feel awkward. And that's whether you think you're too big for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or whether you think you're too small, or whether you have these maybe some physical limitations. Everybody on their first day feels awkward. And as adults, it's, like you would think we grow out of it, but we don't, because just like when you're a kid and it's your first day at a new school, you're like, oh, nobody's gonna like me. I'm not gonna fit in. I'm not gonna make no friends. And then, your child goes to their first day of school and it turns out okay. They made some friends. Some people liked them. They fit in and life is good. And as adults, we still have that childhood fear of like, oh, nobody's gonna like me. I'm not gonna fit in. I'm gonna embarrass myself. No, we're gonna like you. You're gonna fit in, because we were all first day white belts too at one point in our life. At one point in my life, I was a first day white belt. And so I know what it feels like to be awkward on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mats. I know what it feels like to be gassed on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu mats. Like, I'll never forget the first time I sparred with somebody. It was probably like 2006. And I already had a black belt in Hapkido. In the 80s, I had boxed, and I'm at this MMA gym in Beaufort, South Carolina, and I'm rolling with a guy named Walt Rakowski. I'll never forget his name. Walt and I were sparring, and there was nothing I could do. I thought I was a good fighter. I was in good shape. I had boxed. I was a black belt in Hapkido. I thought, I'm going to do okay in this grappling match with him. And Walt, there was nothing I could do to stop Walt. Walt just choked me. He advanced the position, got to the mount, armbarred me. And I felt embarrassed, because I'm like, I thought I was a good fighter. And, the instructor's watching, and it's like, I had no answer. There was nothing I could do. And then you get into that fight or flight mode. Some people, when they get overwhelmed like that, would be like, I am never coming back to that school. I'm going to pretend like this never even happened. And then you get some people who are like, oh no, I have to learn whatever Walt knows so I can be a fighter like that one day. Because that was it was humbling to get handled like that, but it was inspiring to know that there is a skill set that I can gain that one day I can handle and do jiu-jitsu the way Walt did. And so that was my introduction to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I thought I was a good fighter. I thought, oh, I'll do fine on the ground. And sort of like if you ever go to a public place and you watch the UFC, you'll hear somebody screaming, why don't he just stand up? When Daniel Cormier, takes him down, or Damian Maia takes him down. Why don't he just stand up and fight? Why does he lay on the ground with him? It's like, bro, once you grapple and you learn jiu-jitsu, if a wrestler or Brazilian jiu-jitsu person takes you to the ground, you will not just be standing up if you don't know how to grapple yourself. And when you see it on TV, it's like, how hard could it be? But in real life, you're like, oh my gosh, I couldn't stand up on Walt. I could not move. I could not do anything other than tap frequently every time I roll with Walt. And that was so humbling. But just realize everybody has a first day like that. Everybody has a humbling like that, where it might be like, oh, you can't do the warm-ups. And if you can't do all the warm-ups, that's fine. You reach failure. Hey, you can't do them. we keep working at it, and eventually you will be able to do them. And then, maybe your first few classes, you can't make it through the whole class doing everything. No worries. We're going to build up to that. So don't think like you got to come in and set the world on fire where I look at you and you're like, that is the next Hoist Gracie. This guy or this gal is just phenomenal. They're going to do, they're phenomenal. No, we all come in, we look terrible. We all come in because there's a steep learning curve, and it's an incredible physical challenge. So don't worry about it. Just come in and train. And then you're going to meet like-minded people. You're going to learn self-defense. You're going to improve your cardio, and you're going to find out the people there are going to like you. And so you're going to have a new friendship network. And then these new friends, your fellow students and teammates, they also have healthy lifestyle objectives, and you'll be able to share tips and things that each person does, to help them with whether it's building muscle or losing weight or improving cardio. And you'll be able to share those secrets, and you'll have that healthy friendship network to talk to. Because like I said, just joining a gym alone, just doing jiu-jitsu, is not going to cause you to have significant weight loss. So I wanted to talk about this today because I've had a couple friends contact me, and they're like, oh man, I'm just too heavy for jiu-jitsu, but when I get to this weight, I'm gonna do jiu-jitsu. It's like, no, do it now. And then I was talking to a bearded friend of mine that he has his YouTube channel is Healthy Bearded, and he's on a healthy lifestyle journey, and he's trying to lose weight, and he's doing boxing, and he's like, but when I get down to 275, I'm not sure what weight he's currently at, but he's like, when I get down to 275, I'm gonna start jiu-jitsu too. And I'm like, bro, don't wait till you get to 275. Do it now. And let your jiu-jitsu school and instructor help you get to 275 and below, or whatever your weight loss goals, or it may not even have weight loss goals. Maybe you just want to learn self-defense, or maybe you just want a new friendship network. Whatever your goals are, start today. Don't wait. And you're going to fit in. They're going to like you because you're a nice person. And they're going to welcome you right into their jiu-jitsu family. And so that's the answer to this week's question of the week. If you got a question for next week, feel free to fire below. But I'm also going to do some things, maybe some interviews on other people who have lost weight and things that they do. And I'll talk about some things that I do that made the difference between whether I was going to be like the other males in my family who were over 300 pounds and me at 180. What things do I do? What things have I learned as a 54-year-old who's gone through life, and it's like I've gained weight. I remember one time on the ship I got up to 228. So I understand like gaining weight, losing weight. It's a challenge, and but your diet along with your cardio work are going to be critical. So it's a lifestyle change. So I hate to use the word diet because diet makes it seem like maybe I can just do this phase or craze diet, for a short period of time, and then I meet my weight loss goals, and then I go back to doing what I used to do. When the reality is you need to make a lifestyle change if what you want is to change your physical conditioning. All right, so that's it for this week. And look forward to your questions and your comments, and feel free to experience, share your first day jiu-jitsu journey on the comments below, and or any weight loss tips that you've found, or physical conditioning tips. All right, ciao. Talk to you soon.